Welcome to our English class again. Okay, and this is Sukan sir, A previous class we have completed our piece of prose, My Greatest Olympic Prize. Okay, so today after prose, definitely the turn of poetry comes. Then story will follow. So today I have selected the first poem, that is Daffodil by William Wordsworth. Okay, this is your first poem of second syllabus, that is Daffodil by William Wordsworth. So before starting this poem, we should know what is the difference between poem and poetry. Okay, so because this is the first poem class, and we should know what is the basic difference between poem and poetry. So what is the difference between poem and poetry? Is it spelling different? P-O-E-M, P-O-E-T-R-Y? No, just I am joking. Poem is different, poetry is not different. Both are interrelated, but if you differentiate them, you will get vast difference. For grammar point of view, suppose we start discussing about poem and poetry, you must know the poem has its plural form. What is the plural form of poem? That is poems. But you cannot get the plural form of poetry. We cannot say, I have written lots of poetries. That is incorrect. But I have written a number of poems. That is correct. So then come to the point. So what is the basic difference between poetry and poem? Actually, poetry is the use of language. Poetry is the representation of thought, emotion, feeling. Poetry is the use of poetic devices, information, message, personal view, natural view, political view. Means it is the gathering of information. It is a vast section. Poetry is a vast section. Use of language, sharing of emotion, sharing of our thought, sharing of our feeling. But what is poem? If poetry is the information, use of language, sharing of our thoughts, sharing of our emotion, then what is poem? Poem is the arrangement of words, the arrangement of metaphors, simile, poetic devices, the arrangement of stanza is known as poem. So have you got it? Or getting little bit difficult? Are you getting me? What is poem and what is poetry? Daffodil is a poem or daffodil is a poetry? Daffodil is a poem from poetry section. Okay, daffodil is a poem. Again listen, what is poetry? Poetry is the use of language. Okay, use of poetic devices, sharing of thought, emotion and feeling. But poem is the arrangement of words, arrangement of stanzas. How many lines you can use in a stanza? How many words you can keep in a line? So this is called poem. This is called poem. Have you got what is the basic difference between poem? Poem is like this. Suppose this is the poem, this is the first stanza, the arrangement of lines is called poem. But poetry is the use of language. Okay? So are you getting me? Poetry versus poem. Don't be confused at all. Don't be confused at all. Okay? Poetry and poem. But really, the era of poem, when it started, it was really an excellent era. Because here the poet can put his thought, put his emotion in a sequential order. Okay, and no doubt poems are very small, but gives a big message, gives a big information. You know, novels are normally written in verse. Stories are normally a big one. Stories are normally big. But as compared to as compared to novel, as compared to story, as compared to pieces of prose, poems are little bit short. No doubt, epics are there, big poems are there, long story poems are there. But though poem is a very short, but gives a beautiful message to society. So poem is considered as the mirror of society. By reading the poem, we can get directly the thought of the poet. Directly can get the emotion of the poet. Okay, so this is poetry versus poem. So before starting any poem, you should know, okay, about poetry and poem. Come to second part, poetic device, or it is called poetic device, or we can say figure of speech. What is figure of speech? So definitely the students who are from English mediums, they can easily get, okay, poetic devices or figure of speech, because they are being taught since their childhood, that is, we can say from standard 5 or standard 6. Okay, but our Oriya medium students, they must have got in 9th or 10th class little bit idea regarding figure of speech, regarding figure of speeches. So whatever may be, but you should know what is poetic device or figure of speech. So poetic devices are the technique of the poet. Techniques of the poet, they can use, okay, separately, differently, according to the thoughts, according to the emotion, according to the poem. So poetic devices are nothing but it is just like cashew nut in our pies bowl. Okay, so when we take pies, we are searching for cashew nut because we like it, because it makes us interest. Similarly, poetic devices are very technical things in the poems. Technical things in the poems. Okay, it depends upon the poet where to use, how to use, why to use. Okay, so what is poetic device? Have you got? Okay, in Odia it is said Chanda Alankara. Have you heard it? Okay, Chanda Alankara, they are used in different way. Jamaka Alankara, Sabda Alankara, Artha Alankara, Alankara ଦି ପ୍ରକାର, ଶବ୍ଦ ଅଳଙ୍କାର, ଅର୍ଥ ଅଳଙ୍କାର। ଶବ୍ଦ ଅଳଙ୍କାର ପୁଣି ତିନି ପ୍ରକାର, ମନେ ପଡୁଛି? ଶବ୍ଦ ଅଳଙ୍କାର ପୁଣି ତିନି ପ୍ରକାର, ଯମକ, ଶ୍ଲେଷ, ଅନୁପ୍ରାସ। ଅର୍ଥ ଅଳଙ୍କାର ପୁଣି ଆହୁରି କେତେ ପ୍ରକାର ଅଛି? ଉପମା ଅଳଙ୍କାର, ରୂପକ ଅଳଙ୍କାର। ଓକେ, ସୋ ମନେ ପଡୁଛି ନା ନାଇଁ? ସେଇ ଅଳଙ୍କାର। ତ ଭାବନି ଯେ ସାର୍ ଆଜି ଗୋଟେ ନୂଆ ଜିନିଷ ପଢ଼ଉଛନ୍ତି। Don't think that I am going to teach a new thing. In Odia, you know very well what is Chanda and what is Alankara. and they are the part of poetic devices, nothing else. They are the part of figure of speech in English. If I start singing about the Odia poems, I may not continue this class. As you know, this is our English class. We should know, okay, poetic devices separately. So get ready for, okay, one by one poetic devices or figure of speech. Get it? So number one is simile. Number one is simile. What is simile? What is simile? Simile is obviously a figure of speech. Simile is also a poetic device. But when we compare two dissimilar things, when we compare two unlike things, two dissimilar things or unlike things in indirect way, using as or like. Again listen, simile is a figure of speech. Simile is a figure of speech. Okay, when it is used or when we compare between two dissimilar things or unlike things, okay, indirectly by using as or like. Okay, as or like. This is called simile. This is called simile. This pen is like my friend. This pen is like my friend. That means here two things are there. One is I myself, another is this pen. I say this pen is like my friend. I usually hear like. I usually hear like. But this pen is not my friend directly. But this is like my friend. This is like my friend. This board is like a wall. This board, white board, is like a wall. I usually also like. This like is simile. This like is simile. I like ice cream. This is not simile. I like my mother. This is not simile. But I used like. Why it is not simile? Because here like is a verb and here two unlike things are not compared. Two unlike things are not compared. So this is not simile. You were as brave as lions. You were as brave as lions. You were as brave as lions. She is running like a deer. She is running like a deer. Just see here. Here two dissimilar things. One is she and another is deer. Here, first one is you, another is lion. Okay, another is lion. Here we compare two dissimilar things using as or like. Using as or like. This is simile. This is simile. So are you getting me or getting any confused? Getting any confusion? Okay, so are you confused? Getting the meaning of simile? Where we compare two dissimilar things, mind it. Where we compare two dissimilar things, this is called simile. But mind it, when we use simile, there must be the word like or as. This is compulsory. So without using like or as, we can't use a simile. Normally, we can't use a simile. Okay, so just before I was giving also the example, this pen is like my friend. This pen is like my friend. This is obviously a simile. Just see here one line, it is written, I wandered lowly as a cloud. I wandered lowly as a cloud. Here, as is used. Here, two dissimilar things are used. This is also a simile. This is also a simile. Getting me? What is a simile? Simile is a figure of speech. Okay, when we compare two dissimilar things indirectly, two dissimilar things indirectly, using as or like is called simile. Come to second part, that is metaphor. Simile and metaphor. And normally the students are getting always confused to know what is simile and what is metaphor. Because both are looking same, both are using in same order, in same manner. But a big difference is there. In simile, we use two unlike things and we use as or like in indirect way. But metaphor, two unlike things are there, but we use in direct way. That is the basic difference. In metaphor, no as or like is used. No as or like is used. But simile, as or like is used. Metaphor, we directly use, okay, two dissimilar things. But simile, we use indirect way. For example, this pen is my friend. This pen is my friend. Sir, just you are giving the example, this pen is like my friend. Yes, this pen is like my friend, but not real friend. This pen is like my friend. But now, I am telling you, this pen is my friend. Direct. This is a friend. This is a friend. This is metaphor. This is a friend. I have not used any like. I have not used any as. This is metaphor. Okay, this is metaphor. He is a lion. He is a lion. Okay. He is a lion means I see he is like lion. She is a deer. I am giving you same example, lion, deer, so that you can easily get the basic difference between simile and metaphor. Okay, the basic difference between simile and metaphor. Normally students are getting confused. Every day they are getting confused to know what is simile and to know what is metaphor. Okay, so he is a lion. This is metaphor. Here two dissimilar things are there. He means you can use also Ram, you can use also Syam. Ram is a lion, means one different thing is Ram or he, another different thing is lion. So both are different. But here, directly it is compared. He is a lion, she is a deer. Perhaps she is running very fastly, running very fast. She is a deer. He is a lion. This is metaphor. This is metaphor. So are you getting the basic difference between simile and metaphor? Okay, simile, as or like is used. Metaphor, no as or like is used. So how can we know metaphor? Suppose you get any sentence, he is a lion. Perhaps the metaphor thought may not come come to your mind that it is a figure of speech. But internally, you have to think, he is a lion. How? Perhaps he is like a lion. So internally, you have to use like or else. If it seems perfect, then you can guess that it is a metaphor. He is a lion. Means he is like a lion. He cannot be a lion. So this is metaphor. This is metaphor. Got it? Simile and metaphor, very, very important. Because this is the first time I am going to teach you a poem. So after this, another 2 poems are there. But at that time, I will definitely ask you what figure of speech is used in this stanza. What figure of speech is used in this line? Okay, and this poetic device class will not be repeated. This is the first time. Okay, before starting the poem, I am giving this class. And you have to apply these things in every poem. Okay, come to next one is personification. Just see my circle part, simile. I have also made a circle. Metaphor, second one, personification. So what do you mean by personification? The word person, P-E-R-S-O-N, the word person is there. Means humanity, means human or human being. Personification, it is also a figure of speech, or personification is also a poetic device where we consider a non-living thing or a place as a person. As a person. This is called personification. Are you getting me? Personification. Just see. This is the head of my pen. This is the head of my pen. So how it is possible that this is the head? This is the cap. But I said this is the head. Means normally a person is having a head. No doubt animals are having also their heads. But I consider this pen as a person and said that this is the head of the pen. This is personification. Today, India is crying. Today, India is crying due to COVID pandemic. Due to COVID pandemic. So I consider India as a person. India is crying. Where are the eyes of India? No eyes are there. But I say India is crying. I consider India as a person. Okay. This pen always listens my feeling. This pen always listens my feeling. I consider this pen as a person. Okay. This whiteboard is always standing at my bedside. Okay. With its protection hand. Okay. So this is also personification. Okay. This is also personification. The world is crying. This is also personification. So what is personification? Where we consider a non-living thing or an object or a place as a person, it's called personification. It's called personification. Okay. The year of the corn is hanging. The ear of the corn is hanging. Ear of the corn. Ear. Corn, you know, this is the corn. Corn means what? You know, suppose this is the rice plant, this is the corn. This is the ear of the corn. Okay. This is called also personification. The head of the flower. This is also personification. The head of the flower. So are you getting what is personification? Okay. Then come to hyperbole. Hyperbole. What is hyperbole? That is also a figure of speech. Simile is a figure of speech, metaphor is a figure of speech, personification is also a figure of speech, but hyperbole is also a figure of speech. When we speak in exaggerated way, exaggerated means say more, say more. I can see crore of students standing before me. Crore of students means I say unexpectedly more high. Okay, your coming to my house is crore rupees for me. Your coming to my house is crore rupees for me. You may ask me, sir, if our arrival is crore rupees, give us 50,000. It is not possible. But I consider you are crore rupees for me. Students are crore rupees for me. This is hyperbole. Okay, this is hyperbole. In Odia, definitely you must have heard the title of a movie. Mate anidelo lakhe paguna. Mate anidelo lakhe paguna. You know, it takes 1 year to bring one paguna. How it is possible that the hero has brought 1 lakh pagunas for the heroine? Is it possible? Lakhe Sivapuji Paichipo. Is it possible for a man to move here and there and calculating the number of Shiv temple, okay, which he has worshipped or she has worshipped? Okay, so this is the exaggeration. Means speak more. This is hyperbole. Okay, this pain is crore rupees for me. This is also hyperbole. Okay, this pain is crore for me. This is also a hyperbole. Okay. Next come to alliteration. Alliteration. This is also a figure of speech. This is also a figure of speech. Alliteration. In Odia, you must have heard Anuprasa Alankara. Anuprasa. Okay. Utkala Kamala Vilasa Dirghika Morala Malini Nilambu Chilika. Here consonant sounds are repeated again and again. So what is alliteration? When consonant sound two types, vowel sound, consonant sound. Sometimes alliteration takes care of vowel sound, but also consonant sound. When consonant sounds is repeated again and again in stressed syllable, this is called alliteration. Here one example is already written. Beside the lake, beneath the tree. Here stressed syllable is beside the lake, beneath the tree. Here the sound ba is repeated. Beside the lake, beneath the trees. This is an alliteration. This is an alliteration. Beside the lake, beneath the tree. So ba sound is repeated here. Ba sound is repeated here. Okay, this is alliteration. Repetition, same word is used repeatedly. Same word is used repeatedly. I gazed and gazed, but little thought. Okay. Never let the children watch TV. Never is also repeatedly used. This is repetition. So, have you got it? What is simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, alliteration, repetition? Don't think that these are the 6 figure of speeches in English literature. There are a number of figure of speeches. But in this poem, normally this type of figure of speeches are used. That's why I gave you this glance regarding simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, alliteration, repetition. Then come to rhyming scheme. because time is getting shorter, we have to complete rhyming scheme. Okay, before complete the class. But I have already put the title daffodil. Okay, on the above part of boat. But these are the background of daffodil. Okay, till now we have not started daffodil. Come to this point, rhyming scheme. What is rhyming scheme? You must know the rhyming word. Here the rhyming words were, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats high over vales and hills, where at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Just gaze, students. Cloud is a rhyming word, and the pairing and matching word is crowd. Cloud, crowd. Pairing word, rhyming word. Crowd, cloud. Fox, bugs. Fox, bugs. Okay. Wheel, deal. Like that. Okay. Cat, mat, bat. They are the rhyming words. So here rhyming word is cloud, crowd. Another is hill, daffodils. Okay. Hills, daffodils. Hills and dills. Next word is trees, breeze. So this is not trees. We cannot say it is trees. This is trees because vowel sound is at the end of this word. This is trees and this is breeze. Now calculate the rhyming scheme. The first rhyming word is A. Try to understand. The first rhyming word is A and the matching rhyming word is also A. The second rhyming word is B and the matching rhyming word is also B. The third rhyming word is C and the matching rhyming word is C. You can apply this formula in every poem, not only in this poem, but also in all poems. You have to identify the stanza and you have to calculate the line and the first rhyming word. Rhyming word normally stays at the end of the line. Don't find rhyming word here or here. Only rhyming words are seen at the last line of a stanza. Last word of a line. Last word of a line. So I have written a stanza of daffodil. This is the first stanza. And cloud, rhyming word is A, and pairing rhyming word is crowd. A. B. This one is B. C. So the rhyming scheme is A B C. This is the rhyming scheme of this poem. This is the rhyming scheme of this poem. You can also open your book and see television and see Monumentus and see Ballad of Father Gilligan and see Sum of Life, and in your first year poems you can apply this formula how to find out the rhyming scheme of a poem. It may be different. Sometimes four lines are different. This is A and you cannot get any pairing word. Then this is B. Then you can suppose get this one CC. So it may be A B C C. This may be A B C C. It depends upon the writer. What rhyming scheme he has used. Okay. Don't think that always rhyming schemes are like this. A B C C. Sometimes A B C D means no matching words. Sometimes A B C. Sometimes A B. This is the rhyming scheme of a poem. Okay, this is the rhyming scheme of a poem. Thank you. So next class we will discuss more.